Welcome students, I am teacher Noreen. Today, we will tackle about the poetic forms or the forms of poetry. According to the Poetry Archive, poetic form can be understood as the physical structure of the poem, the length of the lines, their rhythms, and their system of rhymes and repetition. There are various forms of poetry that can be appreciated. First is haiku. Haiku or huko is an ancient Japanese poetry that has become very popular all over the world. It has a total of 3 lines, 1, 2, 3. A haiku also follows a 5-7-5 syllable scheme. What is syllable, you ask? Let me explain. A syllable is a part of a word that has one beat or sound. For example, dog. 1 beat equals 1 syllable. Crunchy. 1, 2. 2 beats equals 2 syllables. Elephant. 1, 2, 3. 3 beats equals 3 syllables. Here's an example. As we can see, we have 3 lines here. 1, 2, 3. The first line has 5 syllables, second line has 7 syllables, and third line has 5 syllables again. Example number 2, it has 3 lines. The moon shines brightly, stars scattered across the night, Mars faintly glows red. Here we have the 5-7-5 syllable rule. Second is free verse. It's a popular style of modern poetry, and its name suggests there is a fair amount of freedom when it comes to writing a poem like this. Free verse can rhyme or not. It can have many lines or stanzas as the poet wants, and it can be about anything you like. Some examples are Remember, free verse can be short or long and on any topic because they have no rules. Third, sonnet. This very old form of poetry was made famous by none other than William Shakespeare. The word sonnet is derived from the Italian word sonetto, which means little song. Traditionally, sonnets are made up of 14 lines and usually deal with love. As a rule, Shakespearean English sonnet follow an ABAB, CD-CD, EF-EF, GG rule. Example of sonnet. The first quatrain has ABAB, second quatrain has CD-CD, third quatrain EF-EF, and fourth couplet GG. The fourth poetic form is limerick. What is limerick? Are funny and sometimes rude poems which were made popular by Edward Lear in the 19th century. They have a set rhyme scheme of AABBA, with lines 1, 2, and 5 all being longer in length than lines 3 and 4. Limericks have 5 lines. Example, there was an old man in a barge, whose nose was exceedingly large. But in fishing by night, it supported a light, which helped that man in a barge. The first, second, and fifth lines rhyme with each other. The third and fourth lines rhyme with each other. Limericks also have a syllable pattern. The first, second, and fifth line usually have around 8 syllables. The third and fourth lines are usually shorter with around 6 syllables. The fifth poetic form is ode. It's typically written to praise a person, event, or thing. You could write an ode to your pet or favorite food, and they are usually quite short in length. An ode poem is when you write about something or someone that you really love. Odes are poems that celebrate a special person, place, or thing. You will be writing about something that you are grateful for or something you really appreciate. An ode poem is a way to celebrate that person, place, or thing. Example of odes are The sixth poetic form is elegy. An elegy doesn't have rules like some of the other forms of poetry, but it does have a set subject, death. They are usually written about a loved one who has passed away, but can also be written about a group of people too. Although they can sound sad, elegies often end on a hopeful note. An example of elegy are and the seventh poetic form is ballad. Ballad is a poem with a musical quality. It is sometimes set to music. A ballad is narrative in nature. This means that it tells a story. Most ballads are written in an AB-AB rhyme scheme, which means that lines 1 and 3 rhyme, and lines 2 and 4 rhyme. Example of ballads are ballad is a type of verse that is traditionally set to music in order to tell a narrative story. Examples of modern versions of ballads can be found in much of today's popular music.